Hello, so creative. Welcome to today's tutorial. On today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to make this beautiful made top. With this style or with this pattern, you can also use it and convert to made gown or any pattern of your choice. So this part of the tutorial is a drafting part of the tutorial. This made top, you can style it in two ways. Either you tie it at your neck or you tie it normal, so it will give you that off shoulder. So let's move over to the drafting table. So I have went ahead to mark my lines. So on my lines I have the shoulder and shoulder to the armhole, my bust point, my under bust, my waist and my top length. As you can see, how do you get your shoulder to your armhole? Your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 and plus extra 1 inch for your shoulder slant measurements, because we are going to slant our shoulder by 1 inch. As you can see me doing, I came down by 1 inch on the shoulder, so I slanted it to the neckline. So I marked my basic neckline, which is 3 inches, and from my chest line I went up by 3 inches. That my chest line, also known as armhole line, and I came out by 0.75 and I mark it back to form my armhole. And from the center front, I divided my bust into 4. I now impute my measurements, my bust measurements at the chest line, and I now complete my armhole, as you can see. So I now added 1.5 inches sewing allowance. At my under bust line, I divide my under bust by 4 and I impute my measurement. At my waistline, I divided my waist by 4 and I also impute my measure. At your upper hip, you now divide your upper, at your top length, you divide your upper hip by 4. You add your measurement, you join the lines, as you can see me doing. I join the lines. After joining the lines, you now start marking your 1.5 sewing allowance, 1.5 sewing allowance all the way from your bust point to your under bust to your waist and to your top length. You now join the lines together. Your front basic pattern is ready. So we did not add any dart intake. So from your shoulder, you now come down by 1/2 inch, by 5 inches. You know that this thing is an off shoulder, so you come down by 5 inches. So that top part, we will not make use of it again, so we are going to cut from that 5 inches that we came down from. So you cut your patterns at, I cut from that 5 inch that we came down from. Is an off shoulder, means that I don't have any shoulder. So after cutting, now we are going to use this front to cut our back by placing it on another pattern paper, and we trace exactly, but the difference will be that we're going to add zipper allowance at the back part. As you can see, the zipper allowance that I left, the 1 inch zipper allowance that I left at the center of that back, you trace it exactly as the front, and you remove your front and cut your back. From your zipper allowance, you come down by 1.5 inches, come down by 1.5 inches and you mark it. I want my back to go down a bit, I don't want it to be that up. That was why I came down by 1.5 inches. I want it to have that slant effect, I don't want it to be that up. So this is my back pattern is ready. So let's move over to our front pattern. So I try to rename them: my under bust, my bust point, my waist and my top length. So from your bust point, going to curve in to your underbust just the way you see me doing it. From the tip of your bust point, you are going to just curve it to that your underbust. You now cut it out. So after cutting it out, we are going to use the method of slash and spread to get that fullness at the bust area. So we are going to cut this pattern into two. We are going to start slashing our pattern by 1 inches. I use 1 inches to slash it. This is our first pattern. You mark it up and you get your second pattern. I slash it using 1 inches difference. You get your second pattern, third pattern, get your fourth, get your fifth and your sixth. So you now name your numbers your pattern so that we not mistake each other. You first of all number them so that it will be easy for you to locate, because we are going to slash them. We are going to separate. So I went ahead to bring another pattern paper and I drew a line to give us guide so that we know how to spread our patterns. So I now place my number 1 directly on that line that we drew. As you can see, there is a line in that our pattern. So make sure that that line that you have in your pattern is laying directly to the lines that we drew. That line that we drew will give us a guide so that we get our pattern correctly. So I started spreading it by 2 inches difference. So I started spreading it by 2 inches. I am now placing our number 4 directly to that line that I drew. And you can see that line that is in our pattern is our chest line. As you can see, it's matching that lines that we drew. So I made mistake at the armhole. Our armhole is not meant to be spread, because if you spread it, you have excess at that armhole. So when I noticed, I now brought that number 7 back. As you can see, I brought it back and I taper it down. So after spreading your patterns, you now trace your pattern to get your new pattern. You now trace it out to get your new pattern. You now trace it out. So after tracing it out, you now cut it out. After cutting it out, you go ahead to now transfer to your fabric. So this is just the cutting part, like the drafting part of the clothes. Watch out for the sewing parts, which will be uploaded shortly. So this is it. So I've gone ahead to transfer to my fabric, adding half sewing inches allowance at the necessary parts, as you can see. So with this half inches is what we are going to use and sew back our patterns together. Thanks for watching. If you find this tutorial helpful, please like and subscribe. Bye. I love you.